Hey everyone, so today I wanted to quickly show off a really cool workflow created by one of our community members, Zero the 10th, or also just known as Zero. She made a Blender tool called Bone and Bodywork, that's her name, that helps rig Meshy models way faster and easier, especially for more complex bone setups that Meshy just can't fully handle just yet. I'll let the video speak for itself, but hopefully you pick up a few cool tricks from this workflow.
Good. So I made this plugin. It's called not the Bone Factory. It's the Bone and Body Works. You know, for people who ever use Bath and Body Works, same thing. This was made because there were a bunch of people who said that they wanted to make custom skeletons for their Meshy rigs, but didn't know how to use Blender to make it work, or it was really tedious. And I tried my best to explain how to do it, but it was just going over their head. So I'm going to delete this skeleton and make a whole new. If it was an old one, it'd be better. So I'm going to turn it to shading because I know how some of y'all feel about Barbie nudity. So we are going to get rid of this and do this. And I'm going to delete the skeleton. All right, so over here, when you open up the plugin, it has everything laid out for you that you will need to make skeletons and how to rig them here. So you go over here to the window, you see it has steps that you need to, like first go into object mode, but it'll give you an error if you don't have the body click. So now we go into object mode and it says create a starter bone. So it throws a bone in there for you and you just put it inside of your character here. Ta-da. But you see that you can't really see where it's going on in the inside. So we have to keep going down, go into edit mode and then turn on X-ray. So now you can see the bones going inside of the character. It gives you a list to tell you what buttons to press in order to make the bones go the way you want to. So basically we're just going to try to extrude upward. I even said that start extruding from the top of the joint and going up to the head. Don't start down. Always start up. That's just good body making. I mean, it's not. I mean, I do it, and that's how I was taught. So I just, go with it. So you're going to press E, and you're just going to keep extruding on up until you get yourself your own spinal column. And then we can grab right here and press E again. And we can make an arm.
Do I choose how many bones for the spine, or is that like something I should know?
No, it's really okay. I should have said that. It's really optional about how spiny you want your character to be.
Spiny.
But the rule of thumb is you want to put a joint or everywhere you want your character to bend it. So I like them to bend like right here in like the waist area. So I would put the bone here and I want it to bend under the chest for the chest, like right here under the ribs, right here for the chest, and then the neck, and then of course the head, and then that's the spinal column. So you can add more bones in there if you want to. Some people have like 5 spines just for no reason, but I like to keep it simple. So then from here we go to your shoulder, then your upper arm, then your lower arm, and then your hand. And we need to make a sacrifice bone for the thigh, and then it's your leg, and then your lower leg, and your foot. And you want to put your feet out. Now, it's usually like keep your bones inside your body, except for when you're dealing with furries. Furries don't follow that rule at all. They need the little toe thing here because this part of the leg does not bend. So it wouldn't bend like here and then down out to the foot. It's just one straight bone that goes out of their leg and then run tiny one for their feet. So now that you have your skeleton in here, you need to make one for the other side. But instead of, having to extrude all of this, the tool takes care of that. But you have to name your stuff first. So instead of having to click on each and every single bone and type in a name, we have these naming buttons here that helps you name all of your bones with very generic, common, bone names. So I'm going to start with the core, which is usually like your root bone, or your pelvis or your hips, whichever one you choose. I like hips because that's funny. And then you go to your spine, and you have torso, chest, neck, and then head. And this is more head bones if you were to add more head stuff inside there. Like if you were adding ears and eye bones and stuff like that, that's what this head section is. All right, so let's try to make a hand real quick. So I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm making one sacrifice bone to get over here. And then it's usually 3 bones inside of a finger digit. And if you need a reference as to where to place those hand bones. The principle is still the same. You want it where the bone joint bends, and you can just look at your own hand and then see what part of it is bending, and then put a bone in the corresponding place. It really is the best to start the first bone at the base of the finger, like right here. And I can guarantee you that my bones are crooked and sticking out of the hand. I'll have to adjust them later. Okay, sacrifice bones, just the term I threw up. It just lets you get over there to the right place. We're just going to delete those bones. So we just get rid of these bones. Just select them like so. And you can press delete, but we have a delete button. So we can just use that. See, delete bones. And you see now we got those dotted lines that he had mentioned here. These are connections. All right, so we have our fingers and stuff inside. It's time for us to name the bones so that we can flip them and make them go. All right, so we have this, and it's time to name it. I'm going to delete this thigh bone here, and we're going to start with our column. So let's go back down here to the bone naming. So pick hips, torso, chest, neck, and head. And then we can go onto the arms. Was it clavicle there? Arms, clavicle, and you see that it already has the L and stuff already added to it, so you can just work on the left side, even though I'm pretty sure this is the right side. But hand, and the goodness having to name all the hand bones. So let's go into hands real quick, and we got thumb 2, thumb 3, index. Okie dokie. So we got it all named. So all the bones are here with their own name. And now we have to apply their location. So just push that button and then just say summarize. And now, boom, there you go. You have it on the other side, and they all have left, right, all ready for you to go. And it works with the mirror, so you can move them around if you need to on each side. Now I have to connect the legs to the thighs because that was the connecting here, the sacrifice that we did, which there is a button to help you do that somewhere in here. I moved it during the last update, so I keep losing it. Dingle. It's down here in the bone thing, and you just go to relations. I can't remember where I put it. So it will say, where do you want this to be the parent? We would say the hips, and you see now it's connected to it, and these bones ain't loose. They're now connected to the hips. So there you have it. Now you have a custom skeleton, and it's time to do the rigging, which is a part of the plugin as well. So I'm going to close the bone factory. I'm going to work with the weight painting tools. And we have a number of options here. So first we need to do is just go back into object mode to make sure everything's fine. Click on our model and then go into weight paint mode. And it opens it up for you. Oh, yeah. One of the things you should totally do is look at the errors that's at the bottom that says select the mesh with the armature, because we made the skeleton, we just didn't apply it to the mesh. So select your mesh, go into your modifier, add the armature modifier, and then select the armature. So now when we try to go into weight paint mode, you see that we're here, and obviously it has no weights on here. If you try to move it, you see everything is still blue. You have two options here. You can try to manually weight paint this body, or you can, where is that button? Oh yeah, here we go. Assign weights from bone. And this is Blender's automatic weighting system. So we got that, and then we go back into weight paint mode. And you see now she has weights and she can be, but of course you'll have to correct it because it's automatic, so it's not perfect. And you see when she moves her leg up, it contorts severely. So we'll have to do some manual weight painting in that, but it's mostly just correctional stuff versus having to do from scratch, which is, in my opinion, a lot easier. So I'm going to turn the weights down to 0, and we're just going to remove some of the influence around here. Oh, that's
how it works.
Nice. So what weight painting is with Blender, it makes more sense if they would have left it what it used to be called, was bone heat, and it's Blender's visual bone control over the mesh, and it does it like cartoons do. Like in those old cartoons, when something is hot, it's bright red, and when it's cold, it's blue.
Yeah,
it's the same principle.
Visual indicator.
It's the same. It's the same principle of that. So the hotter the mesh, the bone is over the mesh, then that's the more influence it has over it, and the colder it is, the less influence it is. So we just, for this one, we made it colder around her hips and stuff so that it can remove the influence so it doesn't deform it when we move the leg this way. Now here's one of the fun things that we have now. With this, you don't have to try to mirror what you did on side A for side B. You can press the mirror button, mirror active bone weight. So I push this button, and now you see she has the same weights done over here. All right. So let me grab this real quick. So we're gonna weight paint mode, right? Okay, so we need to rig the hair. I'm using the hair, and I'm gonna rig it to the skeleton so that it moves when she moves her head around. So let's just say we have this, and we are going to, where in the blinkety bloops? I had a gradient tool. All right, so I have my gradient tool, and I want to make it completely red. Is this strength not right? Hang on one second. All right, so we make it red like this, totally red. That means that this is only going to move like this when her head moves. So no good. And if I try to use another bone, like down here on her chest, again, where's my gradient tool? Like I try to put lesser weights.
Maybe you already mentioned, but is this a Meshy model, this character?
Yes, she is.
It is. Okay, cool.
You see that, yeah, everything that you see here is made from Meshy. The hair and the body and everything. So if you see, now that we made this completely red, this has absolute control over the hair. And if I try to use her chest and try to add a lower rank of weights down to it, it moves, but, you know, the head is still more dominant here. So it's really just trying to create a good balance between the colors. Very rarely is something like absolutely red, but red is in
the
here.
colors and the bones. That's, I think that's kind of the difficult part, right? If I only had to paint one bone, it would be easier to make sense of it. Because right now you have to keep in mind the weights you painted for the other bones onto the same part of the mesh.
Right. Okay, so I like to use gradient tool because I'm a dirty cheater. So here we are, like going like this. Like this is how I paint hair. And then I want to see where I want it to stick to. And I go from the top. And I can make it like this. And then I do go to strength, turn this down. And go back to the head bone. And remove some of the weights from the bottom so that it's... wait. Sorry, the Blender lingo is a little bit different in the new version. And then cool it off. You see it bends a little bit better now than it did before.
Yeah, wow.
I never knew this is how white painting worked. This is quite interesting.
Well, now we have
a lot of VR chat furries should watch this tutorial because they don't rig their avatars correctly.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of ones that aren't, you know.
Yeah.
They just make them like blocks or something like that. You know?
Oh, this is what I was talking about with the foot. See that?
Yeah. That looks
and
great.
then, you know, like the toe. That's usually how feet go. All right, now one of my favorite features of this. Let me see if I got any clothes in here. All right, so we got clothes, and we need to make them fit on our character. I'm going to join them together so to save time, and I'm going to assign them. Where's the deform armature? Same armature. Okay, so instead of us having to rig the clothes to her, because as you can see, when we try to rotate, they're not there. We can just click on the clothes, go into object mode, then click on the clothes, and go into weight paint mode. And we can use the weight transfer source feature, which will allow us to transfer weights from our already rigged item to our non-rigged item to save time. So you just select the source, use the eyedropper, click where you want the source to be, which is her body here, and we will say transfer the weights to all bones. And you see the weights from her body just pop right in. So now you don't have to spend time trying to rig twice when you have it. I mean, like, of course you may have to do some correctional work here and there, but it's not like rigging it all the way from scratch. But this is building it from scratch, and you want to include the bone names in there. Like, okay, so let's say you wanted to use Unreal. So now, instead of using generic names, it has a list of all the bones that Unreal uses, so you can rename your stuff to Unreal stuff. One of the things that I'm most proud about is the MMD one, because making a custom MMD skeleton requires all of the bones to be named in Japanese, which is one of the reasons why a lot of people over here struggle with trying to make MMD models, because nobody knows how to type in Japanese. So this fixes that as well, because you can go from the center, it's like all the names are translated in English, but the bones are named in Japanese. And that's my plugin to try to help you guys make stuff. So you can easily make bones, you can quickly weight paint, and you can transfer weights from A to Z.